Hey, welcome back to a new episode for this Warhammer 40k Rock Trader playthrough. In this episode I'm gonna try and finish this troubling confession quest that we started on the ship. We still need to find out about another officer that had a troubling confession, and after that I'm gonna go into the Rykard Minoris and do the quest with Pascal and probably the Inquisitor. So let's start speaking with our officers. I think the first one is Viges, so I'm gonna save first. Maybe there are some checks involved here. Okay, Voxmaster Viges. A thin, pale woman stands out among the rest of the crew. There is a thick bundle of cables coming out of the back of her skull and disappearing under her ceremonial garment. And you see the grate of a quietly humming vox where her mouth should be. The woman sees you and bows her head in a respectful greeting. How may I serve you, Lord Captain? Let's try this fellowship. Or, yeah, let's try this because I want to cheese it. Connect me to the Vesselman's channel. I wish to bolster the morale of my crew. Okay, we succeeded from the first try. That's nice. The Voxmaster nods obediently and presses several switches on the device she's holding. It is done, Lord Captain. You address the crew with a rousing speech and you hear your voice roll through the ship, reaching even the normally quiet corners of the vessel. When the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. Okay, let's go with the first one. Lower your voice conspirationally. The Lop earned Klippas the confession. Okay. What's happening? I assume you heard my confessional message, Viges replies without a hint of awkwardness. Do you wish to talk about it? Let's see. Let's go with this one. Viges, I want a pair of Klippas aboard the ship. I'm going to quote my mother's response: that is impossible. You see, the species went extinct several centuries ago. Viges' voice grows even slightly warmer. I am very sorry, Lord Captain, there aren't any Klippas to be had. The important question is why. I was both checking the voice device in the ship's reliquary message recording works, but deletion does not. You have helped me establish that, thank you. Wait, why Lopt earned Klippas specifically? At the time, I had nothing to repent of, so I dictated an excerpt from an old letter to my mother. As you heard, it contained arguments in favor of keeping Lop earned Klippas on the ship. I can still recite it from memory. Your confession perplexed the initiate. Find a way to delete it and we shall forget about it. Will do, Lord Captain. Would you like to discuss other matters? Remind me who you are. Voxmaster Octavus Viges Suri Ota of the Toliman dynasty, the current Voxmaster serving aboard your vessel. In accordance with the Seneschal's order, I assumed this duty immediately upon the demise of the esteemed Voxmaster Septimus, who was my grandfather. What are the Voxmaster's duties? I am the ears and the voice of the ship. I supervise several dozen officers and 3 times that number of support personnel. We receive, send, encrypt and decode all incoming and outgoing messages through the ship's internal and external channels. And we ensure clean communication and the optimal efficiency of the crew's voxcasters. If you ever want to know what worries and concern your crew are harboring, what your subjects are whispering about in the local networks after their watches, and what their leaders are clamoring about the shortwave Vox transmission, just come to see me. I will satisfy your curiosity. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? Forgive me, Lord Captain, I have no information that will be of interest to you at this moment. Your appearance is unique. You are a Voidborn, aren't you? My appearance comes from my heritage, generation after generation of people who spend their entire lives in the depths of the Void Ship. Neither we nor our ancestors have left our home, but the same can be said about many dissidents of the Imperium's million worlds. We are used to silence of the cosmos and the voices of the ship. There are thousands of us, but we dwell far from the Lord Captain's upper deck and remain unseen. We are Voidborn. Where does the word Voidborn come from? Because we are children born in the void between the stars, be it in the womb of the traveling vessel, an orbital satellite, or a forgotten asteroid station, low gravity voyages through the warp and the countless dangers of the space travel, everything others hate and dread is the second nature to us. Tell me about the lives of the Voidborn in my crew. To us, groans, creak, and murmurs of the ship sounds the way babbling brooks and singing birds do to world dwellers. We hear the ship breathe, know what it is feeling and thinking. We are part of the ship just like it is part of us. We perform numerous functions and there are many officers among our number. Some maintain order and prevent mutiny, others serve as shepherds and support the crew, and some devote themselves to mending the body and spirit of the vessel. Most of the Voidborn are members of a large void ship dynasties that bear responsibility for certain aspects of the ship's life. For 300 years, the main branch of the Toliman dynasty has produced ships Voxmasters, and most of our subordinates came from the cadet house of the dynasty. How do you find life on the ship? Life has been quite generous to me, Lord Captain. I am the Voxmaster, and only the best in the dynasty can become one. By virtue of my skill and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Our family claims a spacious section for its demands. I also enjoy long walks through the narrow and dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening the sounds of her activity, falling asleep and waking up to the chanting of hymns, and admiring the stars beyond, of course. How do others on the ship treat you? We look, speak and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, tradition and quirks frighten these people just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many believe us to be bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for terrible warp phenomena during longer voyages. Vigis hesitates before continuing. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jumped caused all the food on board to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock the larders with our flesh. It will have been killed during the mutiny had Idira at last not show up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the Scrandal's fear of her was even greater than their fear of the Voidborn. Looks like you are close friends with Idira. Webs of tiny wrinkles appear at the corners of Vigi's eyes, the only hint that the Voxmaster is smiling. The Voidborn seldom makes friends, especially among the captain's entourage, but you see, many consider Idira to be different. I am different too. We have spent plenty of time in each other's company, discussing regicide over a glass of Amasek. Okay, so this is basically chess, right? Except Idira changed after one incident and we started to drift apart. The death of the Lord Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know if Idira considered me her friend now, but we used to be very, very close. It is good I can still look after her in my own way. Okay, so we didn't succeed the perception check. I'm not gonna load because I don't want to go through the dialogue again. It is what it is. I hope you will find the sense and the clarity of mind to find her way out of the dark place she is in currently. Have you ever left the ship? Oh, I did once, and it was dreadful. It felt like the massive blue dome overhead could shatter at any moment and fall, and my bones will be crushed by the gravity. Vigis twitches her shoulders, trying to ward off the flood of memories. The ship is my home, Lord Captain, and I will not trade even for the bounty of 100 words. I see, let us return to business. As usual, Lord Captain, that will be for now. Okay, so I think we still have one confession, right? Okay, the maker of the third confession has been found. Okay, let's see. We have here Master Hellsman. It might be Argenta, but it said it was a man.
Greetings.
Okay, so it's where is that dude? Said it should be here, right? Okay, so it's Master Hellsman Raver. Okay. The tall man before you appeared to be woven from tendons and muscle, blue veins snake under his white, almost dove-colored skin, and his scalp and chin are covered in cropped white hair. His neck and shoulders are wrapped in wires that hint at the presence of neural connectors under his uniform. The officer's face seems to be twisted in a perpetual grimace of annoyance and anger, but he greets you with respectful nod. Lord Captain. Master Helmer Raver at your service. Remind me who you are. I am the Master Hellman, Lord Captain. I stand at the wheel of this here tab, I mean your vessel, and bar commands at these idiots who tend to its related systems. In a layman's term, I am the one who stopped us from running into an asteroid or a disruptive gravitational wave when we are traveling through the void. Do you control the ship in real space? I wish that was my only job. I have to steer her through the warp too, but most of the credit goes to the navigator. The warp's a nightmare, always tossing up something new. All my years at the helm, they count for nothing in there. My part's small enough. I just monitor our system, follow the charted route, and I don't kick up a fuss when new orders came in from the navigator's sanctum. Real space. Now that's where I keep my eyes peeled. Gravitational anomalies, void currents, hard radiation, that kind of shit shows up everywhere. Thanks to the Emperor, the augurs on this vessel are holding up, and so far we've been able to spot if something bad coming our way. Who are these idiots you are in charge of? There are too many to list them all. Tech priests from the Engineerium, voidsmen from the Augur deck, the work-shy fool on the bridge. I have every last one of them flogged. They all need a wake-up call. They need to be whipped into shape, or else the ship will be going nowhere, or even worse, I'll go somewhere we don't want it to. You must have dealings with the navigator as part of your duties. Raver stares at you before blurting out, "Damn it, Lord Captain, to tell the truth, I've been asking myself where the Lord Captain fished this Orselio girl out. Now, it's not like I've met many navigators, but this one, I don't feel safe with that little princess pulling our void ship through the warp. She's done a decent job so far, though, so I guess she's managing. That's enough for now." "Right you are, Lord Captain. Have you made a confession lately?" "No, I'm up to my connectors in work as it is. The orphan on the ship have already been provided with the bare essential, have they not?" The helmet scratches the back of his head sorrowfully. "Damn it if I know, Lord Captain. If you ask me, our orphans have it words better than they would on the other ships. Thank you for your answers. It was definitely not you. I'd be blasted if I understand the thing, but I'm here to search. Something else would like to discuss? You are a Voidborn, are you not?" "That I am, born into a Hellsman clan in the bowels of the Chartist vessel, studied the family trade until I was 15, then my entire clan was butchered in a mutiny by lower hold scum. They spared the younguns. Of course they did. Kids with implanted connectors make great navigational servitors. but I was having none of it. They weren't going to make a servitor out of me, so I escaped into the crowd ways, and then I spent months picking them off one after the other. Raver stopped abruptly. You got me talking up a storm anyway. Yes, I am at Voidborn. Finish your story, Raver. Raver stays silent for a few seconds. Not much to tell. I got at everyone I could get to, and then I fled upwards to the middle decks. That's where the Augur operators took me under their wings. They have a pretense helmsman of their own up there, you see. Nobody asked me any question, so I stayed. I grew up, trained, got smarter, then ended up a junior helmsman. A dozen years later, Dan Rock spotted me and lured me away. The cheeky blighter. I can see you are not a gregarious sort. Raver eyes twitches which makes the grimace on his face even uglier. Ave, I've done something to displease you, Lord Captain? On the contrary, you are the first person on the ship who is not tripping over themselves to lick my boots. The helmsman perpetually twisted mouth twitches as if he's trying to smile. It looks sinister rather than friendly. Oh yeah, well, I'm pleasantly surprised myself that you aren't having me flogged for insubordination. Will wonders never cease. Raver points at the cable around himself. Connecting wires, once they go into the control panel, I become one with the ship, except the bloody cogs messed up the wires, stimulus, injectors and connectors when they implanted them. They twisted the wires the wrong way or burned something in my noggin. Anyway, I can't sleep. It doesn't happen anymore. It's been 30 years of non-stop stimulants and splitting headaches, so you'll forgive me if I'm not all smiles, Lord Captain. Tell me about the Voidborn. Raver winces and rubs his temple. Lord Captain, I mean no disrespect, but you do better to find someone with a knack for conversation like Toliman, the new Voxmaster. I am the talking type. I just get the ship where she needs to go. Best let the folks stick to what they do best. What can you tell me about the other officers? Good for nothing wasters, that's what they are, each and every one. Take Janice Danrock, that highborn weasel. He fawns over the officers, but some of the deals he makes will get him burned alive. He drags other people into his schemes so they can take the fall for him too. One of my junior helmsmen was ferrying goods from Footfall for him, got caught by the Seneschal and ended up in the Void Hatch. Danrock couldn't care less. The Voxmaster, another Toliman like the last one, Void rest him, is no better. She cut off half of the Vox channel the day she took up her post. Said the Vox system were damaged and the engineering had no contact with other modules. But how I am supposed to steer the ship, collect cogs, report with the power of my mind? First Officer Verserian, I can't stand him. Like every Navy officer I met, he doesn't know a thing about controlling a vessel in the void, but he puffs himself up all the time and throws his weight around me. And me and him had to have words a few times before he left me alone. Thank the Emperor, Lady Theodora trusted me more than Seneschal when it came to helming the void ship. Then there's that woman, what's her name? Tlas. Lady Theodora brought her along whenever she went. And looked what happened to her. I will not be surprised if it turns out that witch that delivered her to an early grave, just like countless souls before. I don't see why anyone will want that walking calamity on their ship, but some will disagree. They will say she's friendly with the young Toliman, you know, or at least she used to be. Tell me, do you like anyone at all? Raver looks perplexed. What kind of question is that? I like you and Lady Theodora before you. Where would I be if I was making cracks about the rogue trader? Ha, I don't want to die just yet. I must take my leave. Lord Captain Raven acknowledges you with a nod and turns away. Okay. There is another one here. I don't think I'm gonna go through the entire dialogue just yet. I'm gonna just ask them right now if they did the confession or not, because I don't want this episode to be again full with conversation. The Infernus Master nonchalantly lights a low stick from a thermal cutter and spreads his arm in a willing gesture. Enrich Monteng at your service. He smells of cinders and... What is this? Iho? His face is sooty and his belt is laden with a number of heavy tools. You would have taken him for a laborer if it weren't for the greasy and ragged officer uniform. He narrows his eyes, studying your face, then say, with visible relief, "It's only tales after all. You just look like a bringer of woes to me. Have you made a confession lately?" Sounds like the start of an interesting conversation. He looks you directly in the eyes. "No, I have not." The orphans on the ship have already been provided with the bare essential, have they not? The bare minimum, yes. I sometimes check in our little ragamuffins. They don't have it easy, no parents, and they like new recruits in an infantry regiment. Please, your lordship, do not neglect the children. Clearly you prefer the private conversation. You are right. I'm used to talking about important things in the heart-to-heart conversation. Andres flashes you a gently smile, like the one we are having right now. What was that about the bringer of woes? Do I even need to say the moment you came aboard, Lady Theodora perished, so did her arch-militant, as well as half of the senior officers and quarter of the Infernus Guild, along with the previous Infernus Master. What's worse, ration don't taste as good anymore, fire's once hotter, and that sinister look in your eyes, like you're about to put a curse on someone. Henry grins. It is what the voice men say, so it must be true. What if I were to put a curse on you this very instant? No, I'm not gonna go with this one. It seems that several of the ship's bays are due for depressurization as discriminatory measure. No. Ludicrous nonsense. Let's go with this one. Don't let it get to you. They'll get bored as soon enough. Okay. I'm not gonna speak with him. Never let your fire go out, Lord Captain. I mean, no. Enrich hardly waves his hand. That's just a stupid little guillotine joke. Seriously, if you see an Infernus next to a naked flame, run. Okay, so it's not him. Let's try with Jocasta. Zoom. What happened with the zoom? Is this? This is Idira. This is Jocasta. I'm gonna speak a little bit later with him or with all the companions. Okay, Jocasta Sourback is the very picture of discipline. Her uniform is exquisitely pressed, her armor is polished, and her posture is imposing and rigid. The only flaw in her immaculate appearance is the heavy enforcer's maul, which is worn and battered from the frequent use. She salutes you with a practiced motion. Greetings, Lord Captain. So she didn't do any. That is it. That's it all for now. Proud serve the dynasty. Okay, so she didn't do the recording. Let's check with High Factor Januaries. The High Factor Januaries Danro greets you with a cool smile and the merest hint of bow. Pleasure to see you, Lord Captain. How may I be of assistance? Have you made a confession lately? Your lordship, you are truly masterful at springing unexpected questions on a man. However, I must admit I don't quite understand this one. The orphans on the ship have already been provided with a better essential, have they not? Okay, so he was the one that did the confession. The Factorum fidgeted nervously with the ring on his fingers until he musters the courage to reply. I will not pry into how your lordship found about my confession. I suppose it raised some question for you. You have a good heart, it seems. I'm surprised. Okay, so we finished the quest. Nice. As am I. To tell the truth, sensitivity is a vice in one responsible for ensuring the dynasty's prosperity. However, I cannot help it, which is why I am unburdened my soul in confession. I am willing to allocate extra resources to provide for the orphans. I marvel at your generosity. Will there be any specific instruction, your lordship? Let's see. Let's go with this one. Educate them so that they may grow up to be of greater use to the ship. Assign teachers, supplies, books, and commend the best students with gifts. The Factorum bows his head in deference. A wise decision, your lordship, to serve with one shot. That it is to say, it is good to know that the children will both learn and be rewarded for their diligence. Okay, so we finished that quest. Right now the only thing that we need to go, we have these errands. The crew suffered during the cultist raid can be remedied on Rykad Minoris. Okay, let's go to Rykad Minoris. We stayed a long time in the ship. So here is just the prison, right? New blood. So we can find new blood here. So this is the bunker. This is the starport. I don't think we need to do anything else. And I think we have 17 profit factor, right? And I think the last one will be after we finish basically the last mission of this act. Okay, let's go to the electronic dynamics. I think Pascal is needed and my main character. Okay, what's happening here? Okay,
that wasn't so difficult.
Okay, so we succeeded this check. That's nice. So we arrived here. Let's get the loot. I think we are at the starport, right? Because there is the ship. We need to start scouting these areas. There is an athletics check here. Let's scam it.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Yeah, well played, Abelard. So we found a grenade. Okay, by the way, before going here, I have this fire grenade. Where is that blood one? I think the only one that has it is that Crimson Intoxicant. I want to go to the ship first.
It's about time.
Because I want to check something else. If we go on the ship, can we access our companions? Let me see. Yes, we can. The thing is, she has this blood vial, and I want to see if I can remove it. I don't know if I can. It is locked on her. Okay, so it's locked here. So that will be great on my main character. Creates a pool of blood which has the same properties as is created with raining blood ability. Nice. Okay. So we have this spinner ritual vestments. Why then don't we use it? Will increase our dodge. This is a light one. I think I can give it to Pasquale. No, he has a lot of good things. Let's give it to Cassia. Let's check exactly the weapons. Abelard, you have the faux hammer, right? And the sword. Let's see, do we have a heavy weapon that we can give Argenta. We can use this two-handed weapon. It's not that great. It has a lot of recoil. Stolen autocannon. It doesn't seem to be that great. Soul Siphon. This is good for a Psyker, I think. It give me plus 10 parry. Let me check. These are also nice. This has a lot of armor penetration. I think I'm gonna use it instead of the other sword. Do we have anything else? We have this power mole, or this one, Unquenchable Fury. We can give it to Abelard. I think we can give this to Abelard. I think he looks way cooler with this weapon. There is another chain sword here. There is this plasma pistol. Desktop revolver. This is way better than the full hammer. Bolter. Veil render. Is this one for a Psyker? I think it is. Right? Do I have additional damage? If I use it myself? Yeah, I have plus 1 damage, because I'm a Psyker. Can we see the info? Must have not the requirements. Adeptus has started Drukari Aldari equipment. I think I can use this one on my main character, so these swords. They look nice, right? And at least I have plus 1 damage. Anyway, let me check Pasquale. He has the sniper, right? But I want the plasma rifle on him. This is an arc rifle. This is a plasma pistol. I think I'm gonna stay with the plasma pistol on him, since I've gave him the plasma gun proficiency. Okay, let's go back to the planet. I thought that we can take that blood vial from our companion, but apparently it's locked to her. Okay, let's see.
None shall stand in my way.
A new area. That's glad to see this. I think we will find another companion that I'm gonna use right now. It is the Inquisitor assistant. Okay, so we need to open this gate first, but let me see if there is anything around here. There are some dead guys here. Let's open the gate. Pasquale is doing it. I think we can also start using this buff a lot more, right? Because this will give us for allies recoil reduction, and that's nice, right? And the enemies have a lower dodge. Okay, so let's go to the electronic Cenobium. Okay, there are a lot of guys dead here.
Darkness lurks beyond the bright flashes. No, two darknesses. One streaked with red, with clanking shackles and false preaching. The other a bilious yellow, the tang of roiling blood and screams of pain.
The colors of this place are flecked with sparks of pain. Bright scarlet, blackish crimson, deathly gray. A kaleidoscope of despair and madness.
Okay, I'm not gonna go here because I want to get
Follow my lead.
the Inquisitor first, because that will give us a buff. Okay, that's not great. We'll have the fight here with these guys. I think I should have went the other way. And I think we are ambushed, right? Man, they have a lot of HP. This will be pretty damn harsh. Let's see what they're gonna do. Okay, they do not do too much damage to us.
Patience has failed me.
Minor setback.
Okay, that's not great. Okay. Argenta, can you move out of the way and do damage to them? Okay. We can heal, so that's not bad. The thing is, I want to do as much damage as possible to these guys.
Faith without deeds.
Okay, that was great.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Let's get some resolve or momentum. Okay, they are going after Idira, so that's not great. Okay, my main character. I think we can go with this one. And we can jump here and hit all three of them. That's nice. I think I'm gonna see exactly. We have short breath, right? I can use wounds here, but I do not know if I can kill them, so let me use this first.
Another clean strike.
Okay, that's not gonna do 20 damage. 21. Can I kill it with this one? It might be happening this. Let me do this. So let me try and do this. Nice. Okay, we already got our health back. We can jump.
Nothing of value has been lost.
I don't think we can move, and we can do this. And we should get back to our place, I think. Next, I think we can jump here.
Not a problem for me.
Hit these guys, and I think that's it. Cassia, buff my main character.
I'm a navigator, not a servitor.
Okay, this will hurt Cassie, I think. Can we try a cleave? Yeah, I'm gonna cleave first.
Where to hide?
I think it's better than use this and hit Cassia also. Okay, next is her. Zone of Fear. It will hit all of our companions, right? Yeah, let's end the turn. Idira, you cannot shoot, but you can smack this guy.
What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Nice. I'm gonna give buff to Abelard.
Was it you? Or
I want to be honest, I want to smack them.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
And I think I can shoot with the weapon next. Nope.
That's not the Seneschal's job.
I don't have enough actions. Okay, so it doesn't work. I have to put the pistol and not keep the shield. Then I'm gonna switch it up a little bit.
At your beck and call.
I want to see if we can use this relentless. No, I should not have used this. No, it is okay.
Will be done.
Okay, next is Pasquale. I want to see if we can shoot this one. We can give us the buff first. I hope I'm not gonna kill my main character. That's okay. Okay, so this was the fight. So first thing first, I'm gonna heal myself. Where is the Medicare?
I tire of idleness. Let's move. Thank you. Now where were we? Need a little morale boost?
So we are good to go. This was pretty easy. I did a lot of damage with my main character, I have to say. So these guys have no loot.
Victory awaits.
Okay, I think this is where that Inquisitor is. It might be somewhere around here. Okay, it's not this way. It might be here. Yeah.
I'm not satisfied with that answer. I will repeat my question again. The last Electro Priest you killed, where did you find?
Burn in the fire of dawn, servant of the Corpse Emperor!
And another one meets the limit of his utility. The last of them.
The tall, dark-haired man sizes you up with a quick glance. A supernatural chill is making the air around him crackle softly. The expensive fabric of his jacket is stitched with gold thread and marked by several reddish-brown stains. A four sword and a vox hang from his belt, and the emblem of the Holy Inquisition glitters on his chest. Seneschal. Okay. Interrogator von Calyx, I presume.
Yes. Well, since you know who I am, and are in no hurry to kill me, I infer that you serve the Emperor, not his enemies. Allow me to introduce myself. Interrogator Heinrichs van Kellogg's of the Imperial Inquisition's esteemed Ordo Xenos. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Shadow. A great big sun-eclipsing, chain-weaving shadow. I can see the threads, myriads of them extending toward us all, and all of them creeping off toward him like snakes, shrouding us in poison. My, oh my, do I sense trouble, and it's right in my throat. It itches.
A Psyker. Interesting. And a diviner at that. Even more interesting. Are you sanctioned?
Don't you Inquisition me! I'm under the rogue trader's protection!
Idira is a member of my personal retinue and it's under my protection.
Your retinue, you say? Then let's go back to my previous question. With whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Rogue trader Dragonel von Valancius.
Von Valancius?
Valancius, fuck it, that name.
Knowledge, that dynasty is headed by the esteemed Theodora von Valancius. Has there been a change of circumstances?
I see you take no end in pleasure in your job. I barely introduced myself and I already being grilled.
I do admit courteous small talk is not my strong suit. What brings you to the sanctum of the Omnissiah?
I am here to collect you. I am orders for the Lord Inquisitor to offer any assistance you may require, after which I am to provide you safe passage to footfall aboard my ship.
Then the timing of our meeting is fortuitous. I am requisitioning you and your retinue for my task.
Requisitioning? Young man, your choice of words is unseemly to the point of insult. You are addressing a rogue trader.
I don't imagine you'll be any happier if I say taking into inquisitorial custody.
To aid his faithful servant in the fight against corruption is the solemn duty of all whose actions affect millions of the Imperium's subjects. Let your example guide those who will carry the Emperor's light across 1,000 stars.
You are familiar with the works of Inquisitor Alistar the Redeemer. Not every acolyte can say the same, let alone people less initiated. Please forgive my lapse in manners, Lady Navigator Orselio. It is a great honor. I came to Rykad Minoris on a mission, which a rebellion prevented me from fulfilling. The governor is convinced that malcontents from among the rabble were the instigators, but I immediately suspected a more sinister presence at the root of the mutiny. My visit to the monastery and a few unhurried conversations with some of the rebels confirmed my suspicions. Someone by the name of Aurora is leading the rebellion. Data indicates that the head of the cultists is here right now, in the sanctum of the ancient reactor. Given the prophecy of the final dawn, and the special efforts made by the enemies of humanity to seize the monastery, their goal is to gain access to the holy power source's control circuit and trigger a process that, once started, cannot be stopped. In other words, to detonate the reactor, thus being themselves the cause of their much-touted final dawn.
Blasphemous insanity.
As Heinrichs van Kolok speaks, you suddenly notice the way he is looking at you, with his eyes slightly narrowed, as if he is peering into your soul, a soul that is touched by the gift of sorcery. The change in your expression does not escape the interrogator's notice, and you see the corner of his mouth twitch. He must have instantly recognized the fellow Psyker. Okay, precisely what were you doing at the monastery?
I arrived here with an escort squad, only to lose it in our very first open skirmish. The monastery is swarming with heretics. The soldiers I requisitioned from the governor fell in battle, bled to death, or deserted. I had to make do with catching and forcefully interrogating individual rebels. It is from them that I learned what I relayed to you just now.
Point at the corpse. What did you do to him?
I convinced him to cooperate. I can influence living bodies, and I find that the interrogated are much more eager to share information once the blood starts to boil in their veins.
This wretched planet's troubles are none of my concern. I'm taking you to the ship now. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one. I can help you with Aurora. Let's join forces.
Thank you. Regrettably, the governor's people showed themselves to be unprepared for the perils of this place. And extracting blade shards from a person's stomach is beyond my powers. I hope that a rogue trader's retinue will prove more capable than a group of soldiers fresh off the base. I am positive that not all of the electro-priests within these walls have perished. The heretics spoke of shadows emerging from side alleys to make short work of the cultists invading their abode. I surmise that the entrance to their hiding place is somewhere in the hall near a machine known as the Circular Cogitator. I imagine it's one of the local sacred relics which the electro-priests treat with special piety.
Okay, so we can keep him. I'm not gonna replace Cassie, I'm gonna replace Idira. So basically for the moment this should be our party. Let's level him up. I think he's a sanctioned Psyker Pyromancer warrior, so that's pretty interesting. For level 5 with him I'm gonna go with Thick Skin. He's a warrior, so basically it's a frontliner. Now we are gonna go with Thick Skin and then weapon skill. At level 6, we are gonna go with Enfeeble. Where is it? Since he's a Psyker, we are gonna go with Psychic abilities for him. Until the end of combat, all targets within the area suffer a -5 penalty to strength and agility, and 3% increase to all incoming damage. And probably I'm gonna go with Medicare. At level 7, we are gonna go weapon skill again, and Psychic Minoris, or Psyker Minoris. Yeah, it's basically increasing the psychic powers. At level 8, we are gonna go with athletics and hardened scars. Let's see. Whenever the warrior is hit while under the endure effect, their damage deflection is increased by 1 until the warrior's next turn. Okay, we are gonna go with Daring Breach 2. At level 10, we are gonna go with Impetus. It's really nice. The damage dealt by charge is increased by 7 when the ability is used from a distance of 5 or more cells. And we are gonna go with Toughness. At level 11, we are gonna go with the Shield of the Emperor. This is really nice. Until the start of the Psyker's next turn, all allies affected by the Word of the Emperor increase their deflection by 1, minimum +1, and armor by +12. The psychic power can only be used while there is at least one ally affected by the Word of the Emperor. Nice. Okay. Is this Shield of the Emperor? Right now we should go with Shield Mastery. Should we go with Shield Mastery? This means that we will use him as a tank. Also, that is not that bad. He's a warrior. Where is Shield Mastery? I don't know if I have another shield. A shield only occupies the slot in a single weapon set. Interesting. Let's use it. Let's follow the guide. We'll go with Toughness next and Athletics. Then we are gonna go with Ramming Speed for the charge, I think. Let me check it. Where is it? I think we've passed it. Huh? Is it here? Nope. Let me check it again. Ramming Speed. Where is it? This one. Increase charge distance by 3 cells. Nice. We are gonna go Carouse. At level 14, we are gonna go with Strength and Heavy Armor Proficiency. Is it a search button somewhere? Because this is really tricky to find. Heavy Armor Proficiency. Allow the wearing of heavy armors. Okay. We need basically that's it. Let's check his abilities. He has this Word of the Emperor. It's really nice, right? It's super nice. Basically it will give us a bonus, and we have a lot of things. We have charge, we have Enfeeble, and we also have Shield of the Emperor, which is way nicer. Basically we need to use this and then this, right? Okay. So let's loot this guy really fast. We don't care about this. Let's see if we have anything special to give to him. To be honest, I would like to have a shield. I think Abelard has one. The thing is that I think we can go like this with Abelard. At least until we find another shield. Since Abelard, I do not know if he has... where are the stats? Not the stats, the basically the level ups that I picked. Let me check if Abelard have shield proficiency. This is my main character.
The appropriate treatise on Tactica Imperialis.
If he doesn't have shield proficiency, I think
you just fire your biggest cannon and save the day.
I'm gonna use the shield. Yeah, it's dual weapon, right? The characters can attack with the second weapon in their current weapon set. Okay, so this is better than the shield, right? And since we have picked shield proficiency on him, I'm gonna go with this. Since he's a Psyker, it also have this Pyromancer staff that it's pretty damn nice. And we can put a heavy weapon on him. This lowers his dodge a lot, but it gives a lot of deflection and armor. So this looks really nice. Is this heavy? No. This one is heretical, that's why he cannot use it. Yeah, using heavy weapons means that, not weapons, armors means that he will lose a lot of dodge. Let's see. I think he's a dogmatic one, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why we can use this. Okay, so this helmet grants its wearer immunity to enemy critical hits for the first 3 rounds of combat. That's pretty damn nice. Let's see what else is here. I have a couple of helmets. Pasquale, you have this Cassia, you need a helmet also. And you have some gloves, persuasion. You also have a cloak. Pasquale, you need this. Let's use this. Let's put this, why not? What is it here? Can you use this? Okay, Xenos and what do I have? Using medkits cost -1 AP. Okay, that's nice. I think I'm gonna put this on Abelard. Dodge reduction to the wearer's melee attack area. Let's put these on Henrik's. Death Cult Assassin. Are we a Death Cult Assassin? We might be a Death Cult Assassin, right? I wonder. Let's use this, let's see if it's working. Okay, this is nice for him because he has Endure. Let's use these as an assassin. Abelard, you have low intelligence, right? So you can use these. You don't have any gloves. What did I do with the gloves? Hidden auto stimulant. Let's put these. These came here. We have this, it's interesting. So basically here, if we fell prone, we gain some temporary wounds. I think it's better than this one. I'm gonna use the toxin on this one, and we need to use another amulet. Since he's a Psyker, let's use this on him. We don't have any boots, and we can put some grenades on him, right? The user permanently gain +1 psi rating and 30% more chance to trigger Prairings of Warp. It's permanently? Seriously? Minus gains +1 deflection but minus 10 agility. Is this usable for Abelard? Can you use this permanently, right? What's this? Instantly increase movement force by 6. Grants 2 charges of slash ability, yet reduce the weapon skill, ballistic skill and perception. Okay. These are consumable, right? Let's put some grenades. I want to check if we use this. He doesn't have a lot of agility, so it doesn't matter. So if we use this, did we permanently gain the buff? It doesn't say. Thick skin, yeah. Viscous solution, we gained +1 to deflection. Interesting. That's awesome. Okay. I think this is it for this episode. We are gonna continue exploring this area into the next one. I hope you enjoyed this one. There is a lot of conversation in this game, so I hope you will not get bored. We still have a couple of fights here, I think, before leaving, but for no moment, this is it. To be honest, I think this will be my main party. I'm not gonna use Idira, as I said. Probably we are gonna stick with these party members. So yeah, for the moment, I think this is it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.